Michelle Torrio, and this is the Be Mindful podcast. Hi there, and welcome back to the Be Mindful podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about what you need to let go of or release in order for you to step fully into the life that you dream of having. Now, if you're new here, welcome to the podcast. If you are interested in anything like mindset, manifestation, talking about growth and transformation, then this is the podcast for you. So be sure to like and subscribe and continue following for more. Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever prayed or visualized or worked so hard towards something, but it feels like nothing's happening? You're trying to figure out what are the things that I need to do, what is more that I can add on to my life that can really pull the needle closer to what I'm working towards. I am sure all of us have experienced this, and sometimes it's not really about adding more things to do, it's sometimes subtracting it. And the reason for that is because sometimes we don't realize that there are things in our life that we continue to hold on to, and that could be the very thing that is actually holding us back. So today I'm going to share with you 5 things that you need to release in order for you to really step into the life that you've been praying and working so hard for. So the first thing that you need to work on letting go of is your old identity. What are parts of you that is no longer serving you, that is not going to bring you to the life that you desire? If you are not new to the podcast, you know that I talk about identity a lot, and I think it's a huge part of transformation. And if you are feeling stuck, I advise you to really see what thoughts and beliefs are going through your mind about who you are today, and is it going to get you to where you want to go? The reason I share this is because your identity influences your decisions. So if you are living in an identity that doesn't believe that they can fully get there, or there are certain beliefs that is stopping you from really showing up and taking action, that's where you're going to want to dive deep into, because you want to understand where are the underlying limiting beliefs coming from. What are these stories that I have in my head that are really stopping me? Like, what is stopping me from being fully all in? So for example, if where you want to go requires you to be disciplined and show up consistently, what does that look like to you? If you don't believe that you can do those things, then why? Where did that belief come from? Why do you doubt yourself? Why don't you believe in yourself? Questioning those thoughts, because those beliefs aren't true, right? Those beliefs about yourself, your authentic self, isn't true. And for you to be able to move forward, you need to let go of that old identity. You need to let go of those beliefs that are preventing you from being fully you. The second thing you need to let go of is your control. A lot of people think that control creates safety, but it's actually coming from fear. When you're able to recognize what you can and cannot control, it really gives you this sense of relief, knowing that you have control of your own actions and how you want to respond to the world. Like, for example, I am such a planner, and back in the day when things didn't go the way that I planned them to, I'd freak out. And a lot of it was out of my control. The only thing that I can do is focus on what I can show up for, and know that if I do my best, then that's all that matters. And I'm going to trust that no matter what the outcome is, it's going to work out in the best way possible. This is another reminder that you don't need certainty. You need trust in yourself. You need trust in God, in the universe, whatever you believe in, and to just do it. There is no way that we can control every outcome in the world. So what we can do is just show up and do our best, and let go of it needing to come out perfectly or come out the way that you expect it to come out. Try to be more open-minded and being okay that it may not work out the way that you want to, but you can expect the best. You can always expect that only the best is available to you. When you focus on that, you will manifest that. I've seen that over and over in my life. I have seen that over and over in my clients' lives. It's also very empowering to choose a different perspective and focus on what we do want instead of the things that we're worried may happen. The next thing you want to let go of is perfectionism. Perfectionism usually disguises itself as having high standards, but really, many times it's fear of judgment. I cannot tell you how many times that there have been posts that maybe I never posted because I was scared to share that. And I cannot tell you how many times I did not want to record my podcast on video. I was kind of on and off doing from the very beginning, and I actually did not want to do it because I was really nervous just being on camera. It's very vulnerable, but I also was fearing that I needed to be perfect on camera. Now, obviously, no one is perfect. I'm not perfect. And what we can do is just do our best. That is something that I've told myself when it came to these podcast episodes, especially when creating videos. I knew for a fact that every video is not going to be perfect. All I can do is just show up and do my best, and that's it. It's better to be done than be perfect, because when you are constantly trying to strive for perfection, it is going to drive you insane. So let go of being perfect, show up, even if it's messy and not super consistent. Like, I thought I was going to be posting podcast episodes every single Monday and always at a specific time, but based on how my life is, that's not always the case. And so I told myself, okay, it's fine. Just show up every week as much as possible, but it doesn't have to be this rigid schedule. Everyone's work ethic is so different. So just because someone shows up a different way doesn't mean that you need to follow that. But what's important is, of course, showing up every time for yourself. That's what's really important. But it doesn't have to be in a perfect way. So far we've gone over letting go of your old identity, letting go of control, letting go of perfectionism. And now the next one is letting go of comparison. Comparison can convince us that we are behind or we're not doing enough, we are not enough, but really, everyone is on a different timeline. Everyone. So when you find yourself comparing yourself to other people, or even finding yourself maybe a little bit jealous, use that as an indicator of what is it that I truly want? Like, what is it that I see in this person that I desire to have? So instead of asking, like, why is it that they're there and they're living this life and I'm not there yet? Like, instead of talking that way, instead ask yourself, like, what can I learn from this person? What can I be inspired by? What I've learned is, if there's someone that triggers me, I like to ask myself why. Is it because I envy them and they have something, or they are someone that like I inspire to be and I'm just not there yet? Like, maybe it's hitting my own insecurities. Like, what is the core reason to why this is bothering me so much, or why I'm comparing myself to them? When you do that, you are training your mind and showing yourself that you are not focusing on like Debbie Downing yourself. Instead, you are really focusing on your own growth and not this other person's. You're focusing on your lane. So if you find yourself doing this often, maybe just, scrolling through social media and you're seeing your family and friends and they're doing so well, like, remember, you only see the good parts. You don't know everything that's happening in their life. You don't need to compare, because if you stay focused on yourself and your goals and your lane, you forget about everyone else's. Majority of the time, people don't really pay attention to what you're doing because they're so busy taking care of their own life. So let's stop comparing and focus on our own growth. And the fifth thing that I recommend you let go of is having a timeline. I still think it's great to have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. Like, where do you want to be? But don't get so hooked on it. Like, don't get so caught up on the timeline. And even if it doesn't work out the way that you see it to work out, you're maybe at that end point and you are like, oh my gosh, I expected to be so much further in life. I expected to be here. Like, why isn't that happening? Let go of that. You are wasting energy, honestly, complaining about it and worrying about it. Instead, use that energy to work towards what you do want. And when you attach happiness with a deadline, it creates this unnecessary suffering. So while you're in the waiting period, not really like waiting, like you're actually working towards the things that you want and you're continuing to trust it. While you're in this period, work on continuing to become the person that sustains what you have. Maybe you are living a life right now that you've prayed for. Be grateful for it and recognize that you were once in point A and now you're in point B and you're going to get to the next point no matter what, if you continue to trust, right? And you continue to work on it. But when you stay so focused on your timeline, thinking that you're not where you need to be or you should be moving faster, you lose track sometimes of what's important, and that's right now, the present moment. Even looking at my life and where I am now and where I was a few years ago, there were many moments where I had a lot of regret on certain choices that I made, questioned if I was going to be able to achieve what I wanted. And a big goal of mine was owning a home with my husband. That was something that felt so far away and didn't even look at all possible, especially if you looked at the position that we were in a few years ago. Like, you would never even think it would happen. And I remember being in that position, asking God, like, when is it my time? I should have been there already, you know? And looking back, it all makes sense. It all makes sense why it happened when it happened. When you let go of the timeline and trust in God's timing, trust in divine timing, you will realize that that timing is always right. And that our timeline is just more so we can want it and we can think of like how we want things to work out, but we don't need to be so attached to it. I know I said 5 things that we're going to let go of, but I want to add one more. The last one is really letting go of the belief that maybe you're not ready yet. Maybe you've been thinking about doing something, but you're literally not doing it because you just feel like you're not confident enough, or you continue to tell yourself that you're just not ready yet and that you will start when you're ready. I think this one's really important to mention because there's so many, too many people who are delaying their dreams because they are waiting to be ready. I started my coaching business with no coaching certification. I offered free coaching sessions because that was the experience that I wanted to get. This podcast, I had no clue what I was doing. I am still figuring it out, and I started recording on my iPad. If I just waited till I was ready, like, it would have never happened. So I wanted to put that last tip in there because if you feel like that right now, if you feel like you've been really holding yourself back and not starting, this is your sign to let go of the belief that you're not ready. Remember this: confidence follows evidence. Evidence comes from action, and action comes before confidence. So whatever you're delaying, we're not doing that anymore, okay? No more. So what we went over to release today is your old identity, so old beliefs, any limiting beliefs stopping you from showing up fully, letting go of control. We do not need to control every little thing of our life, just what we can. 3 was letting go of perfectionism. 4 was letting go of comparison. 5 was letting go of the timeline. And 6, which I decided to add last minute, is letting go of the belief that you are not ready. Sometimes to reach the next level of your life, it's not adding on another strategy or another task. Sometimes it's more of subtracting and releasing and letting go of the things that we have outgrown. And after listening to this episode, I recommend that you write down a belief or a fear or a habit that you want to let go of. That way you are giving yourself some sense of direction, you're being intentional, and then go about your week. Do one thing that aligns with the person that you're trying to become, that you're praying to become. And make sure that whatever you are releasing and whatever you are going to work towards, you are leaving behind that old version of you that doesn't serve you anymore. And that is the end of today's episode. I hope you found this episode helpful. Sometimes we all can take a look at our life and see what are the things that we need to let go of, whether that's limiting beliefs, that's fears, that's habits, maybe even people that we need to let go of. Basically, anything that's just not serving us anymore and not giving us good positive energy, we want to let that shit go. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. If you did not, make sure you like and subscribe. And remember to be mindful, because who you are from within will attract from the out. See you in the next episode.